Good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you're at, ladies and gents. I am Kure Isagami, your resident tinker and Medarotter, and this is the Medarot News Network, bringing you all the latest developments and happenings with our favorite pet-fighting robot series. Now, as we crest into week 2 of the Bang Brave Bravern collaboration, there's really not a whole lot of new content per se, because much like it is with most other collaborations, we already kind of have an idea of what to expect. With Week 2, we will be seeing the release of both Pleasure Lust and Frenzy Wrath, the next 2 models in the collaboration being released, and we actually do already have an idea of what they do thanks to the Round 1 Super Invasion that went live last week with Wave 1. But we didn't quite know exactly how those behaviors work. But this week we got a little more of an in-depth analysis on what to expect, how they behave, and what we can expect going into week 2 of the collaboration. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into what was officially announced going forward, starting of course with the gacha banners and who we can see getting boosted rates this week. Of course, the 2 highlighted models joining the fray this time around are the 3rd and 4th models of the Bravern collaboration. The first of which is Pt.2 Pleasure Lust, with a kit of Trap Push, Replay Shot, Railgun, Float Legs, and the leg ability of Pure Heart. And then we also have Bravern Frenzy Wrath, with a kit of Leg Killer, Right Killer, Left Killer, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Through Fight. Now, as you're going to see here, much like it was with Bravern and Warrior Pride, we are going to be seeing a lot of brand new skills being debuted in this collaboration, and some of which are actually very, very useful if utilized correctly. Pleasure Lust in particular introducing 2 brand new skills entirely, with Trap Push basically allowing you to play an Uno reverse card on any traps placed on your side of the field, consuming half of them and basically telling the enemy, if I'm going to suffer, you're going to suffer. And Replay Shot basically inducing Encore, and the same effect of the move in Pokemon, basically forces the enemy to use the exact same move or action that they did in their previous action, without being able to actually choose any other option. Now, this does also include even Metaforce Charge or even auto-failing if it's a Metaforce or anything else of the like. So it's going to be a very interesting move in light of what it brings to the table for interruption-based combat, much like any other status ailment types. And then Frenzy Wrath introducing 3 new skills, but basically they're all the same skill but targeting different pieces. Essentially, the long story short is if they're targeting the correct part of the respective part, right killer to right arm, leg killer to legs, and so on, it deals double damage and pierces. Otherwise, it's just a conventional hard-hitting melee attack pretty much at the end of the day. Ultimately, I end up seeing both of these 2 as more situationally based more than conventionally based, much like Bravern and Warrior Pride was last week. But it's still going to be very useful to have a hold of just in case, because they still are some very useful skills that they're bringing to the table. And as a friendly reminder, Warrior Pride and Bravern will be sticking around as well until the end of the collaboration, roughly early mid next month, so if you're still holding out for that final 5th model of the collaboration we're getting next week, you still have plenty of time to save and deliberate. Now, for the models that are getting boosted rates this week, which, as a friendly reminder, basically replaces the highlighted or rerun banners, because rerun banners essentially no longer exist at this point. It's going to just be boosted rates of certain pickups that are going to be that were added to the permanent pool of pickups of 2023 and older. But those models in particular include STG-03 Scimitar Tooth, with Head Trap, Beam Sword, Hammer, Biped Legs, and the leg ability of Endurance, and RPN-0 Queenberry, with All Repair, Double Countdown, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Shape Memory. Now, when it comes to a lot of skills that are brought to the table, as much as I really don't like to advocate for the weirder or the more niche designs, I do have to say that Queenberry probably will take the cake this time around, primarily for just what you can do with Countdown if you utilize it correctly. Because, as a friendly reminder, even if it is an ailment, if you are able to get that countdown to 0 on a specific enemy, it is good night. There is no stopping, there's no breaking parts, it is instant death to that particular target. But, of course, because it is an ailment, it does mean it can be removed conventionally. Scimitar Tooth, on the other hand, another access to get another version of Beam Sword is going to be very nice as well, and Head Trap as well for discouraging anyone from using head skills, especially since traps were buffed massivly a number of patches ago, thanks to Smilodon. It's going to be a pretty solid. It's going to be a pretty solid week in terms of bots that are worth going after, in terms of collabs and the reruns, or I'm sorry, boosted rates, I should say, going forward with this week as well. Now, with the fierce battles we have going on this week, it's going to be focusing very heavily on ailments as well, of varying different types of degrees and necessity. Starting us off on this top row for the fierce battles, we're starting off with SPR-0 Blue Corundum with Optic Guard, Press, Beam, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Brilliance. We have SCB-0 Kanabunbun, also from Medarot 5 with Blue Corundum, with Triple Bug, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of Spearhead. And then we have PCP-0 War Headley from Medarot Navi, with Optic Guard, Double Napalm, Tank Legs, and the leg ability of Heavy Arms. On this bottom row, we're starting off with GBK-01 Melody Beat, with Super Repair, Wave, Missile, Multi-Legs, and the leg ability of All-Rounder. BTA-0 Mekong Narol, the Fighting Beta Fish type, with Guard Boost, Double Provoke, Sea Legs, and the leg ability of Blowbee. And then FSK-0 Jinban Fairy, with Charge Plant, Double Claw, Flight Legs, and the leg ability of Snow type. Now, honestly, we have a lot of really good models this week in terms of fierce battles in varying degrees and utility, ranging from Jinban Fairy, who I graded as the MVP of the week, primarily for her legs and the ability of Snow type, because it is a very difficult terrain to match on, and anything that does get Snow type or Adapter immediately gets a favorable grade in my book just for that reason alone. Everyone else still has very solid skills that can be utilized just as easily though. Melody Beat for all-rounder multi-legs on females, or Super Repair if you do need it. Mekong Narol for Provoke if you want to go for more of a taunt shield or taunt defender kind of thing. Blue Corundum for Sea Leg Brilliance, Kanabunbun for Triple Bug for turn skipping, and a War Headley for Tank Legs with Heavy Arms. All of which are honestly very solid as well. You really can't go wrong with picking any of them at all, but I still would have to give the priority to Jinban Fairy if you are not farming anything regards to the event. Now, in terms of the event, though, we are getting a Wave 2 naturally, and this time we have even more rewards that we can earn going forward. For Wave 2, we have the opportunity to earn the Griffin Medal, which has a Mastery in Shooting, Support, and Healing, and Leg Mastery in Tank, Biped, and Float. We can also earn 2 additional profile banners featuring Knuth and Ira, which are the inspiration models that were based for Pleasure, Lust, and Frenzy Wrath. We can also earn some more limited time voice recordings for Bravern and Warrior Pride, and we can also earn more limited time gacha tickets and event tickets through this wave of the collab as well. And it is worth noting that these limited time tickets actually are pretty solid and lucrative, because they give you option to a lot of solid pickup models, or even possibly the highlighted PvP models, which, as a friendly reminder, is a Tractor, Kanahachi Mark II, which is a fierce battle, and Gentle Heart as well for this month. So very lucrative opportunity and rewards as well can be earned. Now, the event itself actually does come with a brand new quality of life update that will actually make ticket-based events, much like this one, quite easier going forward, and I'm being completely generous with that as well. But to explain briefly, we are getting a ticket-based event this week, highlighting the red and gold tickets. The particular bonuses include for the red tickets, +3 for Scimitar Tooth, Attractor, and Queen Braid at a +3 each, and +1 for every part of the Fierce Battles equip. For the Metarotters, it is a +3 for the SR versions of Ibuki, Arase, or Hisaki, +2 for the R rank, and +1 for the N rank. And for the gold tickets, naturally, any of the 4 currently available collab models will give you a +3 per part, and the Metarotters will give you a +3 per equipped as well. Now, the one main change to it this time around, because primarily ticket-based, I usually always encourage going mixed parts, and I still technically do to a degree. But there's a new quality of life update that just that'll be going live this week as well, that'll make it behave very similarly to milestone-based events. And it's the fact that the bonuses stacked per parts will now stack per bot and no longer per team. That means, for instance, if you are packing full set Bravern that you picked up from week 1, guess what? That is not a +3 bonus for one part, that is a +12 gold ticket bonus. whereas it'll be the same for Scimitar Tooth with the red tickets. So ultimately, I think this event is going to be a little more user-friendly going forward, especially towards a lot of our new players and rookies that are just joining, because normally, instead of having to mix your good parts up with your mediocre ones, especially if you're still learning how to raise things, now you can go in with your strongest bots that you put all your effort into and still reap the rewards and the benefits thereof. With the event-based stuff done and gone, for community stuff, we are still looking for any translators, cleaners, or coders that can help us with any of our translation projects or fan projects. Right now, at last word from my friend Variant, who's been one of the heads on the Medarot 3 project, for the most part, it's basically done, and it's been done for quite some time. It's mostly like that 99.995%, I'd say, if anything. Mostly just some bug fixes, some minor graphical cleans, and mostly just grammar checks from here. And we would absolutely love some help to finish that up, so we can work on other projects like 4 and 5 and Navi, or even other titles that a lot of people have expressed interest in, such as Medarot DS as an example. But so that being said, if you are knowledgeable in coding or cleaning or Japanese, or if you know somebody that might and is looking for a project to assist with, come join our Discord in the link provided below. Send your friends our way, ask around. We'll get you in touch with the right people to fill you in on what has been done and what still needs done up to this point. With the weekly art highlights here on the MNN, I found these two pieces to be probably my favorites of this week of the art that I find, and honestly, it's just a never-ending source of pleasure being able to look for art from the community to highlight. And honestly, I really wish I could showcase more than like 2 a week, but you know, I want to be able to showcase the art in its entirety, and if I make the image too small, it kind of becomes hard to see. Maybe in the future I can find a way to do that by like flashing across the screen or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But going forward with this week's highlights, I do have this piece here from Twitter user MousepieceF, highlighting this really nice piece and well done piece of Particle the Archangel type taking on Sappho Behemoth, which is the upgraded form of Chi Behemoth, the original Behemoth type from the days of Medarot 4. And honestly, whenever she does come around, I always advocate for Particle because she is a very useful and well-rounded healer type model, and I honestly have loved her design even from the early days before she ever set foot in Medarot S, so that's a really easy way to get on my radar as well by including her in your art. And this one here by Twitter user KanamiKana7, I've highlighted their art in the past, I've mentioned before, it absolutely gives me life to see it. This week they decided to do this really cute piece as a request from another Twitter user highlighting Kurojiri in a froggy rain poncho, and honestly, art like this gives me life. I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll continue to say it. Everyday life art with Medarot is just a genre that people don't highlight on these days. And don't get me wrong, I think the idea of combat and broken or damaged art is really good too, but there's just this charm to the everyday life with these kind of things, or even Medarot's small clothing or articles of clothing is just something that's really nice to see. Definitely give both of these artists a follow if you'd like to see more of their art in your feeds going forward on Twitter. One final note as well as a friendly reminder, as I do in every video for the last several weeks and will continue to do so, I am open for commission. So if you would like to have an art piece done, if you're looking for a live 2D model for your content creator as a VTuber, ready to rig, I can do those. I can do 3D models, fully rigged, textured, optimized, ready to go for literally drag and drop in any platform of your choosing. I can do standard art at varying degrees of detail as you see. I can do emotes, and I try to keep it affordable like this on purpose, primarily just so that people who are looking for this don't have to break bank to get really good high quality art. Like I said, I can only do ready to rig models. I unfortunately cannot rig the live 2D, so you will still need to find a rigger for that. But being able to have the art done and ready does take a lot of the stress and the burden off whoever you choose to help finish working on your model. So that being said, definitely reach out to me on Twitter or on Discord if you'd like more information or would like to possibly make something happen. But with that being said, I believe that covers basically everything for this week's episode. So like I said, not a whole lot of new stuff per se, because it's all stuff we kind of already expected or very heavily hinted on and implied on at this point. But still very nice to have these updates all the same. That being said, if you'd like to know more, you can follow us below on Facebook at the Medarot News Network page, or the Metabots Forever community on there, which is still skyrocketing past 25, almost 26,000 members and still growing by the day. You can also join us on Discord in the link provided and in the comments below if you want to keep an even closer ear to the ground on the action. This includes any links to merchandise, fan art, contests, my weekly episodes, or anything else related to our favorite fighting robots. The community Discord is the first place you're going to hear it before it goes anywhere else on the net. You can also follow me on Twitter at IsagamiKura if you have any questions or feedback or comments, or would love to stop in and say hello or possibly commission me for something. Or if you are a streamer, VTuber, content creator, and want to collaborate with me, again, my DMs on there are open pretty much until I decide to close them for whatever reason. So feel free to reach out to me. We can most certainly try to make something happen. Lastly, do give these wonderful friends of mine a follow as well. My dear friend Ryoko at Ryoko Mizuno, a dragon streamer on Twitter and on Twitch. She just recently is celebrating her birthday, technically, according to time zones at time of recording. I do hope she does have a fantastic birthday. Ryoko, if you do see this, happy birthday, and I do hope that you have yet another year of a bright future and lots of fun time streaming and being your friend. And give my friend Variant a follow as well at VariantXYZ, who, like I said, is currently one of the heads on the Medarot 3 translation and going into Medarot 4 fan translation. So if you would like to if you do have any questions or have anything you'd like to ask him about when it comes to progress or what still needs done or what they could work on, definitely reach out to Variant as well, and he's more than happy to fill you in on what still needs done and what is still currently on the back burner. But with that being said, as always, I do appreciate you all for stopping in, just as you always do. And until next time, this is your host, Kura Isagami of the Medarot News Network, signing out.